Dear ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank the speakers for very interesting presentations. I will try to summarize a little bit and maybe raise some questions for the discussion and invite you for some points to discuss. So the first speech that we heard was a little introduction by Sergei Salikov about the science, technology and innovation policy in the Russian Federation, how it goes further and how it moves ahead with strategies to face the global challenges. That was a brief introduction in what is going on in Russia in this field. And the presentation given by Susan Sneberg, our colleague, was a good overview about these global challenges, but not only the challenges, but also the achievements of the last years. And one point that I found very impressive is that overall, the world seems that the world came over the economic crisis with good results in research and development. If we look at the entire 5 years period of your report, I would say, in single countries we faced decline of R&D spending in the most important year of the economic crisis, which was the year 2009. But overall, we also have good messages, and that's something I appreciate and I liked about your presentation. What I also found interesting was the differences in business R&D in different countries. And this reflects, of course, the different economic structures behind. The fact that Germany, where I come from, has a relatively high R&D intensity in industry reflects that there is pretty much manufacturing industry in Germany. If it would have a different structure, the R&D intensity would of course be different. You gave us also quite some examples of single countries, what they are doing, the priorities, the challenges. I found that very, very interesting. Not only the aggregate figures, but also you zoomed into single spots in the world. That was very interesting for me to listen to. I appreciated also the point of internationalization of research and development. I have done quite some research on multinational companies with R&D in different places of the world. And one question that I would like to invite you to discuss and to think about is the question whether the internationalization, the globalization of R&D is always beneficial, especially for emerging economies. So they receive through multinational companies more and more research and development, but how much do local companies and domestic actors benefit from it? I've done some research on spillover effects through multinational companies, and what I, for example, saw in the eastern part of Germany, which is still a structurally weak region, is that the benefits are not always there as policymakers would expect them to happen. Yeah. So a huge field for further empirical research. Then we had the presentation from Dirk Meissner, which was a little bit different, and I appreciate what you are calling for, Dirk, namely an opportunity-driven thinking in science and technology policy making, instead of always keeping discussing problems. Yeah? So Dirk and me, we are both from Germany, and in Germany you can discuss for ages the problems instead of coming to the point to take problems as an opportunity. But often big problems, and also maybe the economic crisis that the world has gone through in 2008, 2009, has created problems, yes, but let's take it as opportunities. It is easy to say that and to call for, but we all know that it pretty much also depends on cultural differences and people's mindset. And we cannot just call for it or dictate it. It is probably something that we can cultivate over longer time, and it's something that we can include in teaching, and we can probably best call for when we teach to the young generation of our students. And but I like this idea that Dirk was calling for, and his questioning of the functioning of transfer offices, etc. And then we had this very great opportunity to listen to Michael Keenan about the innovation policy platform, which is a very, very good job, and I can only congratulate to this very, very useful and very interesting tool. And it is also a big and great example what is possible through information and communication technology. Yeah, we couldn't have thought of this, let's say, maybe 20 years ago or so. Yeah, and this project is going on, and as far as I can tell, into a very good direction. It gives us a very useful source for policymakers and for scientists. One last point I would like to mention that crossed my mind when I was listening to Michael about this nice project. We should keep in mind that in this source we can only integrate the material that is available in English. I think it's like that the coverage of publications is for the publications that have been written in English. But there is so much more valuable material that has not been published in English, and I often regret that I can't read Chinese, Russian, and other important languages where pretty much is published that we have no access to. So as a scientist, I always try to think in categories what I have access to and what I can know and what I can't. Yeah. So it's just a point that crossed my mind when I was listening to you. Thank you very much for the presentations, and I give the word back to you, Alex.